Okay, so last in the last example, my example, I was able to create a linear function that described what was going on because I had a linear relationship between my years and my seconds, right? I was able to kind of connect the dots, the pieces of data, and create a line, a straight line. However, maybe your information isn't quite that linear. So let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're looking at the number of car accidents in your area per month, right? So let's say there was a big movement because there's such a lot of car accidents. Your police department decided they were going to do a lot more awareness, a lot more education, better driving features. Companies started releasing better driving features. So the number of car accidents per month started decreasing over time. So let's say we have the first month, it was, 200 accidents per month in your area. So, oops, in your graph, you will see the first month is 200 accidents, okay? Then let's say after 6 months of great work, they decreased to 160 accidents per month, right? And then after another 6 months, so month 12, your police department did such a great job. They have that, and now it's 80, okay? And then after another 6 months, so 18 months, it's now, well, you are struggling because all the people who did, all this education awareness have gotten better. There are a lot less, but then a few people still keep getting into accidents. So you are only able to decrease by 75, let's say. And then after 2 years, so after 24 months, you've kind of flatlined. You're not really getting much fewer accidents than 60 accidents per month. Okay, so this is over 2 years worth of data per month, or not per month, every 6 months. And as you can see, your data doesn't quite look like a straight line. It kind of drops off really sharply and then flat lines there, right? So it's not quite as linear as my data with my TV minutes, right? My advertising minutes. So with something like this, you can still create something called a best fit line. So even though this is not exactly a straight line, you can make it look like a straight line. So the way to do this is to go ahead and take your data, and you're going to go ahead and look at, sorry. So look at a line that would best fit most of the points in it. So I'm going to go ahead and draw on this. So go ahead and take a screenshot. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and work with this. So if this is something that you need to work on, go ahead and put it on page 7 of your notebook. So this is called your best fit line. And you're going to take your data, you're going to graph it, right? Just like you did. You already have the graph here on page 5, graphing your data. And you're going to take your graph. Put it on page 7. Then you're going to try to draw a straight line that looks like it could fit through as many of the points as possible. So, you take a straight line and you try to draw it. So let's move this over. You're going to try to draw a straight line that fits through as many points as possible. So it looks like I'm going to start here at this dot and kind of skew it a little. Right? Looks kind of like it fits through. I can get it to fit through 4 points, kind of like that. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, let me zoom in there. As you can see, this straight line right here kind of fits through 4 points of my, like 3, right? So there's this line that even though it doesn't exactly go through all the points, it approximates. So first step, draw a line through your points that crosses as many points as possible, okay? And then you're going to do the same thing as you did in the creating a function portion. So first, you're going to look at where it starts. What's the starting input? What's the starting output? And then, of course, you're also going to look at, for every time interval, how much are you increasing or decreasing by, right? So first, you're going to take a look. Okay, look, I start at 1, right? First month, I started with 200 car accidents. So for number 1, for the first month, there were 200 car accidents. Okay? Then, for every time interval, so for every 6 months, right? It looks like I'm going down I am decreasing by, and you can take a look. So this is 6 months right here. I went down about, this is 10, 20, 30, 40. I went down about 40 accidents. And then the next 6 months, I went down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So that's a sharp decrease. And then I only decreased by 5 and then by another 15. So approximately, okay, so for every, I'm going to go ahead and look from my starting point to my ending point. So for every 24 months, because right, this is a total of 24 months, I went down from 200. I went down from 200 to 10, 20, 30, 40, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. So I went down 140 to 60 accidents. So 200 minus 60 equals 140. So for every 24 months, I decrease, for every 24 months, I decreased by 140 accidents, okay? So this is just an approximation. On some months, I decreased more, some months I decreased less, but overall, in the total 24 months I looked at, I decreased by 140 accidents. So now that you have these two pieces of information, you can do exactly the same thing as we did up here. So we know that our starting year, our starting month, our input, I want to take away 1 because it's like my year 0. Then I decrease, so this is a negative number. I decrease by 140. And then I started, okay. No, sorry, I don't decrease by, I'm so sorry, let me fix that. Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. So for every 24 months, I decrease by 140 accidents. So I go down 140 accidents. So let me write that down. 140 accidents per month. Per 24 months, okay? So this is the overall 24 months, but I want to look, I want to take a look at how much I'm decreasing per month, right? That's kind of like the main unit I'm looking at. So to do that, I'm going to simplify this. If I decrease by 140 accidents per 24 months, Well, 140 divided by 24 is about 5.8. So I'm decreasing. So this is approximately, right? So this squiggly line means approximately. It's not exactly, right? Because 140 over 24 is, sorry, negative 140 over 24 is, let me make sure this is all clear because I'm decreasing. So negative 140 over 24. Okay. It's exactly negative 5.833333, but I don't want to include all that. So I'm just going to say it's about negative 5.83. Okay. So this is about every month I'm decreasing by negative 5.83 accidents per month. So for the whole 24 months, I decreased by 140 accidents. But to see how much it was per 1 month, I divided, and it was about negative 5.83 accidents per month. So now I'm going to take a look at making this into a function. So I know that my input is 1, so I want to kind of make it my year 0. And then I know for every month after that, I'm going down by negative 5.83. And that will give, and then I started at 200. So my output, to get my output, okay, so take my input and subtract 1 because my first year was, or first month, my first month was month 1, and I want to make that my month 0. Kind of like we're starting from the very beginning, month 1 was my month 0. Then multiply this by negative 5.83 because every month I am decreasing by about 5.83 accidents. So the negative is because I am decreasing, right? Then the 5.83 is because that's how much I'm going down by every month. And then lastly, add 200 because that is my starting output. So it's exactly the same as my creating of functions here, right? I wanted to make 2009 my year 0, multiply by 12.5 because that was my increase, and then add my starting output. So same thing here, except now you're working with months and car accidents. Starting output, okay? So my function is for take my input, subtract 1, multiply that by negative 5.83 because that's how much I'm decreasing by, add 200, and that gives me my output. Okay, so even though this is not exact, this is still an approximation for the best fit line. So if you have a data that doesn't look exactly linear, you can still try and make the best fit line for it and upload the equation, the function you came up with for your data.